Hey,
All right, ladies and gentlemen, welcome to Dare to Disagree, your weekly episodic podcast where all of us except Slow Chemical, who barely know anything, will have a full-on conversation about a lot of important topics. As if
man,
we know
come
them.
with some shit.
I'll be your host.
We got to boot your ass up the hosting thing. New shit. Get on
Sure
with
thing. Whatever. There's haters everywhere. I see what Jay-Z goes through on a daily basis. I'll be your host, Jonathan Esther out of California.
this is Alone in the Dark in stormy Tennessee. That shit almost ripped me off my motorcycle yesterday.
Ooh.
Cold conscious out of rainy Baltimore, Maryland.
I know what the fuck I'm talking about. So chemical, bitch.
So rude, yo. So rude.
I knew there was something coming.
I was waiting for it. I figured sooner or later. Anyway, point I'm going to make is, look, do you two have a topic? Because I got only one topic that's been bothering me all doggone week.
Real quick though, can you drop us the link for the thing? It changed since you changed.
Oh, I got you. Let me drop it. But
But
yeah, do you have anything slow chemical or cold conscience? Do you guys have anything in particular bugging you? Because
Nothing I can think of right now. I mean, this show is off the top, so we'll find out.
fair enough. Can't argue with that. Well, this week I've only had one thing and one thing bugging the living heck out of me, and it's this whole soldier thing. Like the soldier that got captured or whatever, and they rescued him. You guys heard about this stuff, right?
No, I mean, okay, I
I,
have.
I'll give you guys the generals on the whole incident. Just kind of to give you an idea, right? So, dude is like disillusioned by the military when he deploys to Afghanistan, I believe, and while on post, decides he's just gonna leave, like just go away. And
Oh yeah, I
obviously, he
heard.
gets caught by the Taliban real quick. He's been in captivity for a couple of years now, and I guess Obama traded 5 terrorists for him to come back home. Now, all week long, I've had people approaching me about this whole topic, and majority of them have been coming at me with the whole, "You're former military. Aren't you pissed off that Obama would do that? We traded a life for terrorists, or doesn't that guy piss you off? Can you imagine just walking off your post and not serving your country?" Now, I need to start off by pointing out that almost everybody that brought this topic up to me was, of course, not prior military or military at all. Just regular people telling me how they felt, which I understand. But this is also the Fox News crowd. Now, if any of you guys have been watching most of the news, they've been debating like whether this guy is a traitor or what's the deal. But Fox News has been specifically adamant about this guy being a traitor. I mean, they've pointed out stuff from the fact that he left his post, which means he's a treacherous military member, to the fact that his dad has a beard like a Muslim, therefore it's a bad thing. You know? So they were making a huge deal about the fact that not only did we trade terrorists for this guy, on top of that, his dad looks like a Muslim. On top of that, he's freaking back home after leaving his post. They should have let him die and stuff like that.
Right.
My personal opinion on this whole thing is twofold because I've been trying to like pick how I feel. Because yeah, obviously the fact that the guy left his post and all that, that's a whole thing. There's a whole thing behind it. But I don't know if Alone in the Dark will back me up on this. I can't really blame him, especially having served in the military. I don't think any true military member can really blame any other true military member for walking off their post. Are they going to be held accountable for it? Absolutely. But I don't think there's any legit military member that would look down at another military member because he left his post, unless he left his post in like a cowardly fashion, like in the middle of a firefight. and he just runs away. That's a whole other thing. That's literally what I depend on you for. You put lives in jeopardy. But if some dude just up and leaves, I can't blame him. I really can't. I think it's horrible. I think he should pay for it. He should do, you know, he's already been in jail and all that, but he's got a lot more that he'll have to face. But that being said, people coming around throwing words like treason and like that guy should have died out there, especially non-military members. I don't know. It rubs me the wrong way. I can't word why. I just feel like a lot of people should shut their fucking mouths about situations that don't concern them. It's just, I don't know. I was just curious what Alona and Dar had to think about it, and I thought you guys might have heard about it, so I was curious to see what you guys thought about it from like a civilian perspective.
You want me to go first?
Yeah, because I definitely wanted to hear your opinion, because I don't know how I feel about this thing.
Here's my opinion. I mean, number one, a lot of the shit people are throwing around about it is all guesses, and you know, there's not a lot of facts that are really traveling around with this shit right now. This motherfucker's been a POW for 5 fucking years, probably going through all kinds of fucking hell. Okay, we've seen what those motherfuckers do to people, especially good fair-skinned people like that motherfucker. Probably been going through a lot of shit. Me personally, I don't want to be throwing out the word "you're a fucking traitor," "you're free committed treason," this and that, until I'm 100% sure what the fuck happened. Now, if you come to me and say, "Hey, you know, you either give me this answer or I'm gonna freaking put a bullet in your head," I'm probably gonna say, "Yeah, I think the dude freaking skipped out on him," right? But you know, I don't really know, and I haven't heard if this dude really was on a freaking guard post or something like that, and he abandoned his post, which left a wide freaking open, you know, weakness to the post, or if he just freaking left. Now that's two totally different things to me. If he took off when he was, you know, guarding a freaking post, that is kind of a bigger deal than just being at the base and going, you know what, fuck this shit, I'm gonna go hang out with some Iraqis. Have peace, yo. Those are two totally different things, okay? But even so, it's not. I'm not gonna make any freaking judgments on this guy until I know for sure, because the last thing I want to do is just go bashing a freaking POW over shit I'm not sure about. You know what I mean? I'm not gonna sit here and say this guy's a piece of shit, this guy freaking deserved to die, this and that, until I'm 100% sure this guy actually did something wrong. Okay? Number two, even if he did do something wrong, even if he ran off his post, even if the dude's a total fuck up, it is not our position to let the Taliban do our dirty work. That dude signed up, he signed his ass on the line, he's one of our freaking people. We owe it to him to bring him back home. Now, if we throw his ass in the brig for the rest of his life, that's a totally different story. But no, we need to freaking bring him home. We need to exhaust every freaking method we can to bring him home. And think about those same people who are all pissed off at Obama, right? He brought this guy home. He got rid of these terrorists. Are we really? Do we really want to give Obama, the Obama administration, the power to go, hold on, we got this chance to bring this POW home, but let's make sure he was really a good soldier. I mean, did he do his MCIs? I mean, did he freaking get good shooting qual before we decided to bring him home? No, fuck you. I don't want to give that power away. You do everything you can to bring my POWs home. Once they're home, let the military decide, let a jury of his peers decide what's going to happen to them. But the Obama administration and any other administration doesn't have the right to sit there and go, I want to make sure this guy was a good freaking soldier, a good Marine, a good sailor, before we actually decide to do some shit to bring him home.
Now,
That's not a power I want anybody to have.
Now, I do want to point out, it's actually good that you said that. Two things that came out is, first, people were throwing up, like, we don't negotiate with terrorists. We don't negotiate with terrorists. Like, that's number one thing we broke. And a lot of people were quick to come up and go, you know, that's our position, but we've negotiated with terrorists before. And with Republican presidents, no less. So, like the Iran-Contra situation, how many countries around planet Earth have weapons specifically because America gave them weapons, and then they eventually became terrorists?
Between us and Russia, we armed freaking 90% of the world.
So it's one of those things where people were quick to point out, one, yeah, we've traded weapons and money before for favors and prisoners of war in the past. So you can't really say we don't negotiate with terrorists. It's been done. Granted, is it something I approve of? Not necessarily, but I get the point.
Yeah.
But for me, what blew my mind was just the speed at which people were ready to hate this guy and to use this guy as an example as to why Obama has failed. Which it's getting to the point where it's not even so much about this guy's a bad person. It's more like, look how shitty this president is because he brought this guy home. I mean, at one point on Fox News, they were talking about the fact, and I'm paraphrasing, but literally the guys were like, oh, well, he was over there. He was there for 5 years, and he got tortured and all that. But they were saying by the end of that stint, he was comfortable with the guards. He was playing soccer with them. And I'm like, he's still a prisoner of war. Like, that doesn't change a damn thing.
We could turn that around to, you remember those two girls or three girls that got caught by that freaking Mexican dude? That little girl was going out to the store with that guy and shit like that. I mean, are we really gonna say that those bitches are? Oh, yeah, they were loving it. You know, they didn't have a single problem with them being freaking raped on a nonstop basis. Because look, they went and hung out with these motherfuckers, right?
That was delicious, delicious. I mean, who's that lady in the background?
Some bitch. But anyways,
you got real low there, dog. You got real low.
Sarah Paulin said some shit about that too, like. What do you mean we can't question him because he forgot his English? We've had other POWs out there and they didn't forget their English. McCain was out there. He was a POW. He didn't forget English. One thing she left out is they weren't alone. They weren't all by themselves. No other POWs, just surrounded by freaking Iraqis. Stockholm Syndrome's a real fucking thing. It's happened to lots of people. Matter of fact, it's a good part of the reason why there's so many black Christians to this day, because they were captured by Christians and now they've taken on the freaking religion, and it's been going through their ancestry since then. So this whole shit that, oh, he converted to Islam, that proves he was one of the freaking enemy. No, that proves he was stuck in a fucking hole for 5 years and was reaching out to wherever he could.
Yeah, I was about to say that. Literally, in that situation, would you not look for anything to make things easier? Anything? Mind you, they did point out he tried to escape.
Yeah. Yeah, he was trying to get going, and I mean, it's just such a sad thing to immediately throw this guy on the bus without making freaking sure. I mean, think of how POWs have been treated in the past. We treated them as freaking heroes. This guy we're not sure about. Yeah, there's some questions out there, but me for one, I am not going to accuse this guy of shit until I have hard facts set out. Hard facts, not rumors, not speculations, none of that shit. Like, I heard from his buddy in his unit, which, according to I've seen some of his buddies in his units talk. The dude was a piece of shit. I still don't know if 5 years in Taliban is more than he needed.
Yeah.
Punishment enough. Okay. I mean, that's a pretty freaking brutal payment you have to pay for being a freaking dickhead. I knew some dickheads back in the freaking Marine Corps, and they barely got 2 weeks in the brig and kicked out of the Corps.
Yeah.
So, I'm not going to throw this guy under the bus until I see some good facts, and I don't hold this against Obama. Then people are throwing a fit. Why did we release 4 people for this one guy? The West has always been on the freaking losing side of these negotiations. Always. We've always released more people or given up more because we care about these people's lives more than those people care about these people's lives, their own people's lives. They're throwing their freaking lives, their people's lives away left and right. We've been trying to save them. I mean, it wasn't too long ago that Israel traded like 1,021 POWs for one motherfucker. 1,000 for one person. Okay, we're just always, if we want to care about our military's lives and not just strap bombs to them and have them go blow up other things, that's going to be the cost. We're going to have to be on the losing side of these negotiations because those people don't care about walking away from the table.
Yeah, for sure. I mean, I don't know.
So as much as I dislike Obama, I don't have any issue. What I'm hoping, though, and I was talking to a friend of mine, what I'm hoping is that this guy, the trade for this guy wasn't the big deal. I'm hoping we put some freaking GPS shit or something like that, and those poor guys we released, we're gonna go predator drone the fuck out of wherever the hell they ended up. That would be hilarious, and that would be some good stuff, right? That's how I would have played it.
Just some dude walking around going, Abdul, I don't know, but ever since I came back, my ear, there's this beeping. Is one of you beeping?
Little red light flashing on his chest, like, oh, what the fuck is it?
Oh yeah. Ever since they put that pacemaker on me, I don't know. I get Wi-Fi reception, but it's weird.
Jesus. Then well, from what I've heard, like I said, it's not hard facts, but from what I heard, didn't like 4 soldiers die looking for this guy or some shit like that? Like
Yeah, some soldiers did go down looking for him, which is, I mean, again, that was another thing people would bring up to me. They would go, yeah, soldiers went down looking for him, and I went, you know what? Do you remember there was this Academy Award-winning movie with Tom Hanks?
Saving Private Ryan.
Oh yeah, Saving Private. Didn't people die in that movie? And wasn't that based off a real story?
Yeah.
It's just that the fact that. Yeah, my bad. Go ahead.
Yeah, but you gotta think. In Saving Private Ryan, he didn't exactly go AWOL. He was just trying to find him his unit.
And I understand that. But
what angers people more, I mean, me personally, I mean, I really don't, it's really not a big deal.
Yeah.
But what angers people more is that, you sign up and you get there and get in this shit and get the product in hand and you walk off. And then, people go and search for you, like, people go and search for you and other soldiers die because of you. Now, yes, he got captured and, but at the end of the day, people still lose their family members because they're trying to find this one guy. And Saving Private Ryan, it's based on a true story. And Saving Private Ryan, they're just trying to find his unit, not him. They're trying to find him, but they're trying to find him not because he went AWOL, because he just left. He just like, fuck it, I just can't take no more and left. Because everybody else is still there. And, it's not like it's that happened. And he left. And then people went to go find him, and then people died. So at the end of the day, he was captured for 5 years and was tortured for 5 years. At the end of the day, he's back home safe. The people who went to go looking for him, who died, can't come back home. They can't back home in the pine box. You can understand why people are a little pissed.
I agree 100% with you, except for 2 things, which Alan, Alone in the Dark, brought up earlier. Which is, one, nobody knows whether that's what happened. That's kind of the problem here that's really wearing me, because anytime you try to press anybody for like details, they don't know anything, but they're super quick to get mad about this whole situation, even though I'm like, you literally don't know anything about what happened. All you know is this guy left, this guy was caught, people died, and the president traded people to get him back. Which, again, that's another thing that I didn't even consider till this second. So we traded people to get people back, and then people died looking for him. The people that died looking for him didn't save him, right? That's what you're telling me?
No, they didn't.
All right, good. Because I didn't get that part of the conversation. That caught me off guard. But I was like, so this whole situation, aside from the facts, we have no fact whatsoever. On top of that, that anger, that rage you're talking about, which is completely justified, belongs to the family of the victims. I get their rage. In their shoes, I would want this guy freaking quartered and tarred and feathered and anything you could possibly do. I get that. Obviously, they're justified to that. That's a terrible thing that dude caused them to go through. That being said, for the rest of the people in America, at least their lives weren't wasted. The thing they went to achieve was done. Now imagine if those people had died and the president had never made the trade and that dude was still a POW. That'd have been pointless death. Hell, we might not have ever heard about this story. It might have just been 5 people that died out there and nobody knows why. Because some families, and I'm sure Alone in the Dark will back me up on this, some families never get to hear what actually happened to their loved ones. Because I know off the top of my head at least 2 stories where I'm like, I know what the family was told. I know what really happened. And there is no way in hell that that family was ready for that story. So it's one of those things where you hear stuff like this and you go, the fear I have is I can imagine friends I still have in the military going to war, something happening, them coming back, and the court of public opinion immediately crucifies them without giving them a chance to defend themselves, just like they just did to this guy. That is the scariest thing in my mind, because we already have to deal with horrible Veterans Affairs, and now we got to deal with public opinion being like it was at Vietnam all over again. That's kind of some scary shit, to be honest.
And I mean, I feel bad for the families. I totally understand them wanting to get some justice. Number one, I don't know if leaving him out there is considered justice by anything we would consider justice in the U.S. No. Okay. Number two, I mean, how much responsibility do we really have to tie to this guy for just leaving? Okay. I mean, that's like saying, hey, you shoplifted this candy bar, and when the police were driving there, they crashed their car into a freaking fire truck and died. You just caused all these police to die. No, man, I stole a fucking candy bar. That's what I did. Right. They responded to him, and it's a dangerous fucking area. We signed up for a dangerous fucking job, okay? Those guys died looking for that guy, supposedly. I mean, in all honesty, you know, the mother of one of those people that are saying it, it's some of his, you know, freaking fellow soldiers that are saying it. Do we really have a confirmed source that are saying that, yeah, these 6 people are a direct result of this guy? You know, not like, hey, we were doing missions in the area, and yeah, we were looking for him too, but we were also doing our fucking job, and people died. And they just decided to strap it down to this guy because nobody fucking liked him. Sounds like nobody liked him. I'm pretty sure they had good reason. He's probably a fucking dickhead. But
yeah,
pretty easy thing to, hey, yeah, we were looking for him too. That makes this all his fault. Yeah, I mean, I just can't really tie that much responsibility to this guy because he fucking walked away. You know, it's a major crime. It is something that, you know, the military freaking goes after pretty seriously. But in all honesty, I know somebody who walked away not in Iraq, but stateside, and walked away pretty much with a slap on the wrist. You know what I mean?
Well,
he spent some time in the brig. I'm pretty sure he got an honorable discharge, which every time I see somebody get that, they give it a year or two, and they freaking contest it, and they get themselves some nice honorable discharge, even though they fucked up. Are we really saying that this guy deserves to be tortured by the Taliban for the rest of his freaking life over something that really is 2 weeks in the brig back at home? I mean...
Now, are you talking, when you're talking the story, are you talking about Kay?
No. I was talking about my cousin.
Oh, gotcha. Oh, yeah, I remember that one. Nah, I thought you were talking about Kay, because that's just a lovable goofball right there. That guy.
That guy's a good guy.
Gee golly shucks. We had a friend who walked away from he wasn't the brightest. He walked away and nobody could find him. And when he was found eventually, he was sleeping in his bathroom on base.
You remember they found him in the hand too?
Yeah, they found him. There's a statue. Oh my God, I forgot what it's called. The hand of something. There's a statue of a hand a little bit further down our base, and they went looking for this guy, couldn't find him, and a couple of guys on a morning run just found him curled up into a statue of a hand that we have on base, like curled up in the center of it sleeping. He was just, that guy was nuts.
But, I can't remember the fuck that statue was. I'd love to find a picture of him.
Like that guy, for example, that's a perfect example. That guy, he ran away, as far as I know, at least 3 times he ran away.
And that's
never out there because he just didn't have the option. But again, we knew who he was. He was a goofball and he was dumb, and I wouldn't trust him to hold a gun behind me. But do I want him held by the Taliban? And no, that's too much.
And you know, think about that too. His whole unit's saying that kid was nothing but a fuck up and a piece of shit. How much responsibility do you think he had when he left?
Not a lot. It shouldn't be if he was a mess up and a piece of shit.
Handle this corner. If you fail, we're all going to be overrun and murdered this entire base. I'm pretty sure they did the same thing we did with our 2 retards. and gave them no responsibility and guns that didn't even work.
God damn, man. Who would you say that out loud?
I'm just saying.
I know. Wow.
He wasn't a crucial element if these people thought he was as much of a fuck up as he was. Okay.
But just I don't know. The public opinion in this day and age, I would think by now, and this is something I find myself saying this all the time around people I hang out with these days, constantly. Like, why are we arguing? Somebody Google this. I don't know why I have to say it, but I've had to say it more than once, which annoys the hell out of me already. I'm like, how is this an argument? Just Google this. We all have 5 different company cell phones with 5 different networks. We have so much ability to access information. Why is this an argument? In an age when I can do something like that, the fact that people are getting so mad about this story and yet have no facts whatsoever and couldn't be bothered to look up even the most rudimentary facts. Like for this conversation, I literally Googled 2 articles, looked them over, and that was it. But I got enough information to know, okay, they don't know anything really about it. There's a lot of assumption going on. But I was like, it's scary to see how quickly not only regular people on the street do it, but the news. Now, granted, it's Fox News, but even CNN was doing a lot of assumptions that were completely unnecessary. MSNBC was doing the same too. Just throwing out thoughts out there like, yes, he could have been out there. They'll bring military experts that'll give various scenarios. And you're like, you just confused everybody. You gave me like 5 different scenarios. Which one is it? It's like the school shooting incidents all over again. One of the biggest complaints people started having recently was that when there were school shooting incidents, the news would just constantly give you information. And as you guys kind of know, when that information first comes out, it's not very accurate. It takes a while to get accurate, but they're also eager to be the first one to break the story. They sacrifice accuracy to get the story. Because to them, it's like, we still got views because we put out the first news, even if it was completely wrong. The same thing happened with the shooting out here in LA when there was a shooting in the airport, and the same thing happened with the flight. Hell, CNN is still going around dragging wreckage about this stuff, which is kind of like, wait till you have some actual news.
If you think that's bad, you remember during the Boston Marathon bombing, they had that one kid who got detained, and everybody's like, this is the fucking guy.
Yep, it's him.
And it turned out he was just a dude who was around. You know, they just picked him up, they looked him over, and he was fine. Let him go. Glenn Beck, I don't know if he's still doing it, but within the last 3 months has been talking about how that guy was the money man. He was a part of this. He was the one that organized, with no facts to be seen. That guy's actually suing Glenn Beck now because for defamation of character.
I hope he wins.
Accusing him of being a part of this terrorist act that there is no proof and that the police have just let him go, you know. They detained him and talked to him and that was it.
But that fear, man. The fact that, I mean, I'm hoping maybe it's just kind of a new technology thing and, you know, we got to wait for this, and I'm going to say it's going to sound horrible, but I feel like we just got to wait for the old generation that had never encountered video games or HD TVs to pass on so that the younger generation that's so used to looking up things on their phone can take over. But it's just until these guys are gone, man. You got people like that, like the Glenn Beck thing you just said. You got people like that going to bat, or here's, whenever I want to get a good rage boner going, I'll watch the what's that lady who's got the court show? The one who
Judge Judy?
Not Judge Judy. Not Judge Judy. She's on either Fox News or CNN. She has a court show. Nancy Grace, that's the one. Oh
yeah.
my God. Like, I'll watch that and I'll go, that's a syndicated news show on a news network that people are paying her to do this repeatedly. She's consistently been wrong about it. I think she's only had maybe one case where she was right about that I know of for a fact, but every other case, she's either been completely wrong or the person has been acquitted. Every other case that I've seen. And I'm like, what's the deal with this broad? Why is she still on TV? Why with such a horrible rating? Or it's the same thing with that Mad Money guy, the guy who does the stock market stuff.
Oh yeah.
He's wrong. Like they took a percentage. He's wrong like 80% of the time, and yet he still sits out there and talks about what stock is good and what stock is bad, as if he's right. Like I don't know jack shit about stocks, man. I don't know a damn thing except I know what a stock is. Aside from that, I know this guy sucks at stocks. I know because repeatedly people have said all over the place that his ratio of getting things right is horrible. And yet, he's still on the air. Why? I don't get it. I don't get it, man. And that comes right back to this whole thing with this guy. It's that feeling. I get the feeling like this isn't just a him thing. It's all across the board, all across the system. People are really comfortable saying shit in areas where they shouldn't be saying shit with no facts. Saying shit with no facts comfortably. I expect that shit from talk radio. I expect that shit from gossip columns, a VH1 morning show, or like the Morning Joe shows. I expect that from them. But CNN, Fox News, MSNBC, even if you have an agenda, at the very least, be factually accurate.
Shit.
Like, I don't know why anybody would watch the news anymore. I look at, like, I was talking to someone the other day, and they were like, yeah, I watched on the news. I'm like, why do you watch the news? Why do you watch the news when you have the internet and you know the internet will be way more accurate because you can look up more than one site at the same time and find out what's bullshit within minutes?
You know what I love doing is whenever I see something, I'm not sure if it's true, just scroll down to the highest rated comment. And there you go. Somebody called it all bullshit, man. Like this, I posted this video today. This guy jumping on into the Sydney Harbor, right? To the Sydney Harbor. He dives in and he's wearing a GoPro, goes underwater and sees a motherfucking great white shark, man.
Yeah, I saw a tag on that.
Bailing from it, and I'm like, oh my god, is that shit real? Then I scroll down to the comments, and there's this guy, no, if you look at this dorsal fin on this one and this dorsal fin on the other one, it was a male great white in this screen, and it was a female in the second shot, so it was two different sharks. It can't be real. I was like, oh, shit. Look at this guy just schooling me on this shit.
But, yeah, man, that's stuff like when our fellow co-host, what's his name? Andrew Calhoun.
What the?
When he posted, yeah, see, that's a fantastic picture. Thank you for that, sir. When our fellow
goes down to the titty.
Dave, I had no idea that you had a sister. I mean, she kind of looks like you.
That is.
She does resemble your face a lot.
But whatever. Anyway, the Andrew Calhoun, he posted that picture. I don't know if you guys saw it. The one with the nipples, with the larva in it.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, that's bullshit.
Yeah. That was a picture that for about half a second I was utterly grossed out and terrified.
I saw that picture and I went and scrubbed my wife's titties.
I'm not gonna lie to you, man. That night I was checking things. She was confused, like, man, you've never given me that much. You haven't given me that kind of attention in years. I was like, just checking for cancer, baby. Just checking for cancer.
Looking for those lumps.
Is that a hole? No, not a hole. All right. But how long? Was it like maybe a minute after he posted that picture? It was utter bullshit? It was discovered it was utter bullshit?
Yep.
It's that quick. It's that quick. It's terrifying to me that news... I mean, I can see why news networks would do it. You get the ratings. You throw the most bullshit story out there, you can fix that up in post later. You just get the... But why anybody would then watch the news if you know that that's their MO is ridiculous. I don't know.
Because people like to be entertained. The news is not really news anymore, it's entertainment. This is supposed to be news, absolutely. People watch it, entertainment. People want to know when who the next black guy Kim Kardashian is going to fuck.
That's the same thing. It goes along the same line. I went to work and everybody was like, "Oh my God, did you guys see the wedding? Did you see the pictures from the wedding?" I'm like, "Why?" Well, because it was a big wedding. It was beautiful. but we all agree they're going to be divorced within the next 5 years, right?
Shit.
Yeah, but the wedding was okay. I get marriage clearly doesn't matter to you at this point. Why are you watching this? It's like when Nick Cannon and Mariah Carey got married. I was like, why are people interested in this? This is stupid. The Royals, I'll even give the Royals some. Because I'll give the Royals some because they'll probably stay together for the duration of their lives. At the very least, they're treating it semi-seriously. But any celebrity marriage, why the fuck would you care when you know it won't last? It's the dumbest thing. I don't get it. I don't get it. I don't get it.
Because girls like pretty colors and shit like that. Just put a lot of purple in one place, and that's why a lot of females like the Baltimore Ravens, and they don't know a fucking person on the Ravens.
Yeah, but then go watch CW. CW has a ton of chicks doing pretty color shit. That'll kill your time right there and give you all your fill of drama.
I'm just telling you, girls are nosy, so they need to be everything.
Just saying, man.
Hold on a second. Hold on a second. Did Chael Sonnen just retire?
Yes, I meant to say that.
Yeah, he did. Yeah, he did. Well, there's a reason why. There's a reason why he kind of explained it eloquently. It's a complicated situation. Well, have you guys heard about the? Okay, we're switching gears here, everybody who's watching.
He failed the drug test. That's all you're to say.
He failed the drug test, but he didn't fail the drug test per se. He failed the TRT thing, the testosterone replacement therapy thing, because Vitor Belfort, after what Vitor Belfort did, because they were. Remember, for a while, Vitor Belfort, for like the last 4 fights before he fought John Jones, he was jacked. He was a monster. He was unstoppable. It was like 4 fights in a row, like 40-something years old, just KOing kids. KOing everybody who came at him. Like, he really looked like the old Vitor for a second. And that's because he was full-on testosterone replacement therapy. And the UFC was willing to kind of give it a leeway for some older people and all that. But then, when they went to test him, he didn't allow them to test him, and I guess it just looked shady, and the UFC basically just went, you know what, I'm out. We're not even gonna play this game of what's right, what's wrong. We're just gonna ban this whole thing, because really the truth is, if you need it, you should probably be out the game. We're just gonna ban this thing. Well, Chael Sonnen was on TRT too, not as heavy as Vitor Belfort was, but he was on the therapy. And when they made the ruling to get off the testosterone replacement therapy, you have to go through all of these other pills to wean you down, which is kind of weird. I would assume they would just stop doing it and it'd be over, but that's not how that works. They have to get you off.
Reactivate your system to start producing testosterone. Otherwise, you're fucked. That's when guys start growing titties and shit like that. Because the whole time you're taking testosterone, your body stops.
Oh, gotcha. That makes more sense.
You're fucked,
That makes more sense. Well, 2 of the drugs they gave him so that he could recover are completely legal, completely fine, but there are 2 ingredients in each of those drugs, or 1 ingredient in each of those drugs, which is banned by the UFC, just that ingredient. And he popped for that ingredient, even though he'd warned them that he had that in the system and all that. But basically the commission was like, well, you can't fight your next fight. And I think he just said, I'm making enough money talking on the side and doing all these other side gigs. I think I'm done for now. I don't know if he's gone permanently. I'm sure he's going to have at least 1 more fight just because he's Chael Sonnen. And for God's sake, him and Vanderlei Silva need to settle that.
Somebody in the comments section said, it's probably best to retire now, undefeated.
Come now. The worth of Chael Sonnen was so much more than winning.
Sad day in UFC. I mean, who the fuck is going to talk now? They need to find somebody. You know what? I'm putting my name into the hat. Dana White, if you want me to fight in the UFC, I can train for maybe like a week, and I could just talk my ass off. I might get my ass kicked, but hey.
Might.
Listen, time out. Listen, first of all, I was a blue belt in Taekwondo. Okay, that was 10 years. That was 10 years ago.
Oh shit, son.
That ain't the point. That ain't the point.
Oh
point
shit,
is,
son.
I can at least defend myself enough to not get my head kicked off.
Actually, I think literally you've given us all the reasons you would get your head kicked off.
Yeah.
whatever
Yeah.
case may be, we need to talk in the UFC because I mean Ronda Rousey could talk, but I mean let's be honest, how many people actually really watch women's MMA?
I do.
So, well, if you are a woman,
Well, that being said, I gotta admit, I am only in for the nip slip that will eventually happen.
shit, having them women don't got any titties. Have you seen them? Maybe like a select few.
Ronda got some titties, man.
Okay, well,
You didn't watch the ESPN nude shoot.
she's a select few. The other ones are just looking like me.
Her, Misha Tate. They're talking about Gina Carano might come back. You go ahead and look up Gina Carano real quick, people. See what I'm talking about.
Yeah, no, I've seen her.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, I'd let her put me in a freaking triangle.
That made me think. So I was at a store, and I was getting food and shit like that, and this girl walked in, but she was like gay, like one of those girls who were like, guys and shit like that. And she was bigger than me. Like I'm talking about cut up probably more than you, Dave, when you was in the Marines. Probably cut up more than you, and probably cut up more than Alan when he was in the Marines. This bitch was jacked, and it made me rethink life as a whole. Because she was definitely stronger than me. I'm scrawny, and she made me look like a fucking kid. Like she could kick my ass at any day of the fucking week. And I sat home and I sat on my edge of my bed and I rethought life in general. Like, why in the fuck am I this small? So I started taking steroids as of today. So.
It's I'm glad you brought that up because we had this conversation before about the whole whether guys can hit women, and I got into that conversation with someone else, and I had an addition to that because
I found the women's MMA that Dave watches.
Actually, surprisingly, yes, I watched that too. But anyway, the point I'm making is, yeah, dude. Some of those girls know their stuff. It's like lingerie football. Every once in a while, there's someone out there who knows what they're doing.
Right up until someone gets drilled with a strap on. But whatever. Carry on.
I'll take it. But the guy brought up, like, I was talking to this guy, and he brought up the same thing you said. He was like, but he was more of a, like, I don't think any guy should, under any circumstance, ever lay hands on a girl kind of guy. But he brought up that sometimes. I was like, well, what if that guy is super skinny and super effeminate, and the chick is super butch and super manly? And he was like, nope, no instance should any guy ever lay hands on a woman. So I showed him a picture, and hold on a second. I'll see if I can find her.
What, China?
Really big.
No, not China. It's another broad who's about to get into MMA.
I mean, this girl was a little bigger than me. I mean, she had she a fucking like she didn't miss leg day, she didn't miss arm day.
She made all those.
Yeah, it's not like her top half. She was just really big up top and skinny on the bottom. It looked like she actually has like a full. I almost walked up to her like, what's your workout regimen? Because you obviously.
Tell me how you got those gains.
Yes, man. That shit was fucking ridiculous.
Oh, there she is. I found the broad.
I just rethought like what I want to do in life. Obviously, not nothing physical.
But I gotta
screen share.
Gabby Garcia. That's her name. I just gotta find the right picture so you guys can see this broad. Oh, here we go. All right, so we just talked about Wanderlei Silva. Wanderlei Silva is 6'2", pretty yoked, right? Pretty big dude. And on his show, when he was training to fight Chael Sonnen, he brought this lady on to help coach his guys in Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. She's one of the women's Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu like masters out there, right? Here's the girl.
Damn.
Gabby Garcia. Remember, Wanderlei Silva is 6'1" and a monster. This is a guy who could stand next to Brock Lesnar, and they'd be pretty even in some categories. Look how much she dwarfs him.
That's my kind of woman.
Yeah, man. So I pulled out that picture and I went, so homie, I got a question for you. If you're facing Gabby Garcia, are your manly modesties still in it?
That looks like
He didn't respond.
Be hard-headed.
He didn't respond, but I took that as a I'm shutting the fuck up because I'm an idiot. Now, for people
like how does that not make you?
Yeah, what were you saying?
How does that not like make you just fucking think that yo, I might be a bitch? There's no way in fuck that she should be that fucking. Look that looks like fucking Andre the Giant.
Here's the funny part about it.
That
She's
baby.
small in this picture. She lost a bunch of weight in this picture. Back when she was doing Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu, she was like much bigger. She got ripped because she's trying to get into MMA.
Vandelay's got a big goddamn head, doesn't he?
Yeah, she does.
I feel like Vandelay is like fucking her.
Yeah, I wouldn't be surprised, man. I'm just terrified of the baby.
Ain't nobody fucking that woman. You guess that one.
Her fighting the women in her weight class. She looks like she's beating up a 5-year-old.
That's terrible. Terrible.
Like, how do you feel if you're a girl? You just stare across.
I know. Look at that girl on the bottom. That girl on the bottom is just counting the minutes until it's over.
What's up?
Jesus Christ,
like,
man.
don't think about it. It'll be over.
Hey, what's up? I can't make fun of that girl right there because I'd probably be in the same fucking position.
No.
Fucking
hey, I can't.
Like, no, let me go. I'm reaching for my wallet. I want to give it to you.
I feel like you know they go through with that fucking fight to be for pride, only for pride alone. Because I know if I see that big bitch walking into the fucking mat, I give up. Like, look, I'm not getting past you, obviously. Bridges just don't know Bridges just you have it.
I got a question though. Slow Chemical, you still there?
Yeah.
Hey, I got something for you. Okay, hold on, let me go grab it.
Uh-oh. I've heard of horror stories starting like that.
Let me go grab something.
You still there? Let me go grab something real quick. Just stay right here.
Oh,
I got you when I come right back. I got you.
If you live in the right hood, see if somebody says, let me go grab something, you fucking run. There's
like,
nothing good they're going to get.
Well, the day has come to an end. I must leave.
Hello.
Oh! Well, hello there. Ladies and gentlemen, we have met by the second woman to ever appear. Wait, is it the second or third? Third woman to ever appear on Dare to Disagree. Mrs. Alone in the Dark. How do we do today?
I'm doing good. How are you?
Very well, miss. I'm sure the boys have questions for you. I'll just sit here and stare.
Okay. I'll be quiet. I don't. As you know, I don't have any titties, so I don't know what he's talking about.
Actually, I disagree. By the way, I love how the guys are looking. At least one of the guys is looking like, yeah, I don't believe that.
Hilarious. Anyway, I do have a question because yes, in case I'm co-conscious, in case you haven't been watching the show, and yes, I have been stalking your Facebook page.
He's honest.
I want to know if you have any friends my age.
How old are you?
Any sisters or anything like that, that I need to be aware of?
I have two sisters. One's younger, one's older. But the younger one's still, she's 25. 25.
That's all I need. All right, carry on.
Well, now that we're putting our hat in to compete with Match.com, I'm very excited to say the Dare to Disagree dating program is now in effect.
Yes, you know what?
Women, and we will ask them for their sisters.
Tell your wife I said happy birthday.
Oh, thank you. There is that going on somewhere
How
around.
old are you now?
25, actually. 26. I forgot for a second.
Oh, was that her yelling in the background?
No.
Oh.
She's not here.
Oh.
She's not here.
Uh-huh.
It's 26. I keep
So
her far away.
Did Alone in the Dark tell you guys what happened to his nose?
Oh no!
Did you break it?
Yeah,
Wait, what?
Oh, really?
I broke his nose. Well,
Wait, you broke his nose?
yeah, we were grappling. You know how Alan is. He's like, the enemy doesn't care, and then he'll start attacking me. So I accidentally broke his nose.
Has he forgotten that he's like 5 foot people and then 0.6 nose? Like no, I'm just saying I'm not making fun of my friend. I'm just saying it's a legitimate concern.
It sounds like it.
Not trying to. It's kind of like I love slow chemical, but we all know in a crowd of Muslims, people
Alone in
might.
the dark.
No, I'm talking about slow chemical. I say I love slow chemical, but we know in a room full of Muslims, if slow chemical had a beanie on, you might have to look twice to make sure he isn't one of them. Let's be honest. He's got that terrorizing feel to him.
You got a lot of jokes for the most fucked up family on this panel.
But there's a reason. There's a reason why I got all my jokes out. Y'all been picking on my family long enough.
Well,
Get through me to my peoples. You get some too, dog.
you got a lot of jokes there. Not trying to show your face anymore. It wasn't about me, thank God, but you have a lot of goddamn jokes there.
Just saying.
I'm surprised there's no comeback though. I'm surprised, bro.
What am I gonna come back about my family for? They're fucked up. We know this.
No, not just fat.
We've spent episodes on it.
Yeah, matter of fact, I almost about to spend.
Yeah, make that dreamy filter. I like it. Instagram this woman. It's good stuff.
Well, since I broke his nose, he's been harassing me since I broke it yesterday. Did I break it yesterday? Okay. So he's been harassing me since, attacking me around the corner. I walk around the corner, he's there, stuff like that. So I told him on one day he could break my nose. I could get a nose job because my big nose. One day I'll let him break my nose.
That's real love right there.
Yeah, and he attacked me after I said that.
He immediately took you up on the offer.
Yeah, I don't know because you guys could just imagine how it is being married to him.
Actually, we can't. Could you please tell us?
You do know that.
Oh, no, I don't. I have no idea what you're talking about. Please inform me. How is it being married to him? Does he cuddle?
Tell him how wonderful it is, woman.
Does he read you bedtime stories? Make you breakfast in the morning?
Well, we know he threatens. We got that.
He threatens a lot.
Hey.
That's because it's in love, because he doesn't cuddle, he doesn't, just stuff like that. He could be, nice a couple times, but, he loves me by slapping me. That's how.
Have you ever heard of Stockholm Syndrome? Have you ever heard of Stockholm Syndrome? It's this thing people that are kidnapped go through. Blink twice if you need help. Is what I'm. That was 2 times, by the way.
I like how you said that statement, and you just kept looking like, yeah, he's kind of.
We are very happy in this house. They are treating us most good. They only give us 5 meals a day. 3 meals a day.
I'll be quiet. Who talks like that? I don't talk like that.
I believe you are your heritage. What are you descendant with? Are you Asian? Is that what that is?
Yep.
Korean. No, Korean. You're Korean?
No.
No.
I'm Asian.
Oh, gotcha. That's okay. Just saying. That's what the accent was.
I heard the fucking.
That was my best Muslim accent.
Really?
Yeah, I'm not very good at being Muslim.
Have you heard my dad talk? Have you heard my dad?
Yeah, I've heard your father talk. Yeah,
okay.
He's most deaf. What is what?
What is her ethnic background?
I am Pakistani. And that's it.
Oh.
I'm from Pakistani.
Oh.
Yeah. Import your bitches.
I'll be quiet. Our kids are pretty much the only first mixed babies in my family.
Can you really consider them mixed when they're Pakistani and white? Isn't that just more white,
Well, I
really?
mean, he's Iranian too. That's the only reason I think my family loves him, because he is Iranian. Other than that, I mean,
They'd get rid
my
of him, yeah.
cousins wouldn't be happy with them, probably.
Damn, well, take my name out the hat then.
What? You don't want to make some mixed Pakistani babies? What's wrong with you, dog?
Because I'm full black, so
Well, you could tell
they
them.
deal.
You could tell them that you know at least one person who sells bean pies. Tell them that that's your uncle. They'll leave you alone.
I don't. I
Just saying.
I mean,
All right.
I don't know him personally, but I know him on the street. You know.
I was joking. I didn't know you actually.
Yes. You know, when they pull up, when they walk up to your car so often, you kind of have a conversation with them. That way, they won't fucking keep knocking on the window.
All right, man. We need to wrap this up. We got to do some parting shots.
All right, guys. Well, it was nice meeting you guys.
It was a pleasure.
Yeah, I'm the great.
You haven't shown us your boobs, unfortunately. I was pretty sure that is one that. All right.
You in the
Side shot.
I gotta fix my dress. Hold on.
Oh, please fix it as long as you need to.
I'll be quiet.
Yeah, you know.
Where is the record button on this thing?
I don't have anything. Sorry.
Oh, that's unfortunate. That's unfortunate.
Yeah, you know. Since we've been waiting to get, you know, Jonathan Astor's wife, sister on the show for years, for weeks and months to show, you know, close enough.
She's not dumb enough to know that she wouldn't get murdered in here.
I got my grappling gear on now.
I love how. Oh, okay, good. You have to. I wasn't sure whether you were leaving that open to leave room for the nose.
I learned my lesson now.
Does that thing have sunglasses in it? Jesus Christ. No wonder it was so expensive. Yeah, that's...
It doesn't have a spot to put my cigarette, though.
Yeah, unfortunately. Terrible life you live. White people. Anyway, let's do parting shots. Let's do parting shots. We'll start with you, Alone in the Dark.
For me, I do want to tell your lovely wife that I said happy birthday. And
I'll let her know.
I'll be getting her a present they call the wobbly leg. Okay? Let her know it's in the mail.
Isn't that a dance move?
It's going to be.
Slow Chemical, you've been quite quiet all night. Any parting shots?
Your wife is hot. Let's get me, her, and Renee together. I'll pay you. You have 2 Ducatis. Let's give me your wife for one night.
We'll make a deal, man. We'll talk afterwards.
Wasn't that the movie Indecent Proposal? And actually, you know, Slow Chemical is not even that much of an insult because he bought her, so technically.
Yeah, I invested some money into her by now, though, so it's, you know, she is older now, though. But when she's a teenager.
All right, Co-Conscience.
Yes, I do have 3 parting shots actually. They're very short though. One, go USA because the FIFA World Cup is coming up, and I'm not sure we're gonna make it far at all. But you know, go USA. 2, thank God to Facebook because I wouldn't know if it was your wife's birthday today. So happy birthday to her.
Thank God.
And 3, Alone in the Dark. Yes, your wife does have great genes, and her sister better beware. I'll be looking.
Hey, man. Well, I guess living in Baltimore, you learn how to handle crazy women, so.
Yeah. I mean, can't be no crazy here.
All right, man. That's it. We're gonna wrap up. I gotta go find my wife, and I'm supposed to do things for her or whatever.
Do her? What'd you say?
Something. I'm sure. Well, this has been Dare to Disagree. I've been your host, Jonathan Esther, out of California.
This is Alone in the Dark out here in Tennessee, unhappily.
co-conscious behind somebody's bushes.
I still know what the fuck I'm talking about. Come on, some new shit.
Jesus Christ. Alright. That was Slow Chemical for those that didn't hear. Thank you guys for tuning in.
Goodbye, nation.